Good day, everyone. Welcome to this workshop on blockchain technology. I hope you guys can hear me. If you can hear me, please, I would like to see a message from the chat. Okay, that's good. I'll continue. Now, this workshop is about blockchain technology. We're going to go through the basics of blockchain technology. Now, let's move into the proceeding. Now, the contents for today's workshop will be: what is technology, types of blockchain, what is blockchain technology, types of blockchain network, ledger, what is Bitcoin, a brief history of Bitcoin, blockchain wallets, blockchain careers and opportunities. Now, I'll be starting the first half of this presentation, while the other half will be presented by Untitled. Now, what is blockchain? Blockchain is a decentralized distributed ledger that records the source root of a digital asset. Now, as we all know, we've all heard about blockchain from maybe the internet or maybe from your friends. Now, today, I want to go into a little bit tech aspect of the basic tech aspect of blockchain. Now, I'd like to move you to this page. Now, let's start with this. As the name implies, blockchain. We have a block, and we have a series of blocks combined by what? A chain. So a blockchain, in a blockchain, we have one block which consists of what? Three major elements, which are data, hash, and hash of previous block. Now, as the Genesis block here, looking at the Genesis block here, you don't have a previous hash. You just have the data and the hash present in that block. Now, moving on. Now, we can see three chains, three blocks here, which can be combined, which can be connected together with chains, which we call block, which in general we now call blockchain. Let's move on. Now, in the first instance, we have the first hash. I'm using this one as an example, as the hash is MNOPQ for this data, and the previous hash is unknown. Now, before we go into the details here, I'd like to say a little bit about this blockchain. Now, how do we believe, or how do we see blockchain as being secured? Blockchain, in this first place, you can see the data. The data consists of various elements like the sender, address, and the amount of transaction which has taken place. While the hash, we can call that something similar to our fingerprint, where an hash is unique to one block. That means if you change the hash from one block, it's going to distort the other blocks. Now, using fingerprint as an example, my fingerprint is different from your fingerprint. For every human in the whole world, we have different amount of different fingerprints, which we use as a system of identification for each person. Now, also on blockchain, in this block, it has its own peculiar hash to it. Now, let's move on to that page. I'll show you. Okay. Now, this hash for the Genesis block is MNOPQ. And while moving on to the next block, we have ABCDE. Now, it must contain or consist of the hash of the previous block. Now, this is how blockchain is being secured. As you move from one block and creating another block, making it secured is the representation of the previous hash from the first block. being represented on the next block. That means it's quite difficult for you to change the hash. If you change the hash of this block, your system is going to give you an invalid chain, or invalid selection. Now that can also be breached easily because nowadays we have so many fast computers that can process complex equations within seconds, within nanoseconds. So this can be done easily. Now, another security measure being done here is what we call proof of work. Now, in proof of work, before we move on to proof of work, let me show you this. Changing the hash for one block takes exactly 10 minutes. So it's a security measure put in place to secure people from changing the details of a block. But this can be achieved easily also, like I said earlier. And proof of work now comes in where you can not be able to easily change the hash of a system, of a block. Now, once you can even achieve changing that, the next option for security is the consensus. Now, consensus is when we have 2 or more people having different nodes, and each node is going to validate the identity, the authenticity of information from the new block created. If you create a new block in a blockchain, each person, they don't know each other. They don't know, none of them knows each other. So each one needs to validate the new hash from the new block. Now, not to confuse you further, I would like to go to this place where you can explain it furthermore. Hold on, please. Sorry, my slide is scattered. Okay, now another definition of Bitcoin, before we go into that, before we continue from where we stop, it's a way of recording information which is safe from cheating, impossible, difficult to change, and open to everyone. Like I said earlier, each block is open to everybody. I've explained how each block can be manipulated and how security measures have been put in place, like the proof of work and the consensus, where it's going to be very, very, very difficult for anyone to come in to the blockchain data and change any information there. So let's move on to the next slide. Yeah, I've explained this. Now, the proof of work, as I explained earlier, is a security algorithm put in place for any blockchain. Now, for others, we know that Bitcoin is the first currency. So it started with proof of work, while the other ones like Ethereum and Cardano are using proof of stake. We'll cover that in maybe another episode of our series. Now we have, excuse me, we have 4 main types of blockchain: the public, private, consortium, and hybrid blockchain. Now, the public, as the name indicates, public. This is the general one we use, the general blockchain everyone can use and everyone can access. While the private is limited to an organization or a person that creates its own nodes, creates its own blockchain, its own nodes, and it is not open to others, while public is open to others. Now, going to the hybrid has a combination of the public and the private system of blockchain. That's both public and private system of blockchain. While the consortium also has similar aspect, but the consortium is more of a company or a larger company than the private, coming together to have a private and a public set of blockchain, and it's open to a particular level, unlike the public chain. The openness is limited. It's limited in a consortium. So we've known about the public, the private, the hybrid, and the consortium type of blockchain we have. Now let's go into ledger. Now, as everybody, everyone in the whole world now, we know, we do hear about let's change the world, our general system, where our banking system is the main people controlling our funds, where they can change anything at any particular time, where me as a person or you as a person can be restricted to our funds. Now, in a centralized ledger, it's similar to the common order we have in each economy, where there's a central governing power, which everybody goes to, which governs each of our activities, and take control of our money. Now, you can see here, client A, client B, client C, client D are all what? Connected to what? This central body, which is called the bank. Now, this is where uncentralized, decentralized, or uncentralized ledger now comes in, where we see this. In the centralized ledger, you can see here that node A is connected to B, is connected to C, and is connected to D without any middleman. So blockchain is all about removing the middleman from your day-to-day or your activities. So in a decentralized ledger, blockchain is a decentralized ledger, like I explained earlier in the definition, where there is no middleman acting as a governor or acting as a sole supreme power in the system. Now, each node A doesn't know anything about node B, node C, or node D. So it's a chain where individuals can come in without knowing each other, without trusting each other, and can validate transactions and move transactions from each other, and validate and move transactions from each other easily, due to the security measures in blockchain, whereby each chain, each block cannot be tampered with easily. Now, let's move on from ledger to the next slide. Now, why distributed ledger? It can be used without a central authority by individuals or entities with no basis to trust each other. Like I said earlier, you don't need to trust anybody. Each person is standing as his own supreme power, where each person is connected to each other, and they can decide to validate transactions easily without even wanting to know each other. Now, to create value or issue assets. Now, in distributed ledger, A can create a value and issue it to each can create assets and issue it down to B. While others, we are going to see the transaction, and they're going to validate the transaction. Now, transfer of assets. To transfer value or asset ownership. Now you can see blockchain. I own an asset on blockchain, and I want to transfer to someone else. It can be done easily through the distributed ledger. If we look at the decentralized ledger, where my money has to go through, or my asset has to go through the middleman before getting to the receiver. In distributed ledger, none of that exists. No middleman exists. So it can transfer value of what? Or assets easily from point A to point B. To record those transfer of values or asset ownership, which is difficult to alter. Like I said earlier, it's difficult to alter. You can transfer value, or all these transactions you are processing or you are transacting on the blockchain is recorded and on the blockchain and can't be tampered with. I can say is the most secured system. Blockchain is the most secure system because of different layers of security levels being put on the chain. Now, to speed things up because of time, to give owners of assets rights associated with ownership and record the exercise of these rights, still simply meaning each asset or each transaction will be recorded where everybody can see the transaction. There's nothing aiding. A person can go into the chain and see that A made a transaction with B. The value being transacted, the amount being transacted, the time it was being transacted. Now, let's move on to the next one. Now, how distributed ledger works. Now, as a person using the blockchain, I will initiate the transaction first. Then I broadcast the transaction to a node. Now, one or more nodes begin validating my transaction. Now, those nodes will aggregate the validated transaction into series of what? Blocks. This node broadcast these blocks to each other. That means they have to see the transaction from from node A, node B, node C, node D, any amount of nodes. The transaction is going to be sent to each one of them. And when a consensus is reached, the transaction will be what? Approved. Then nodes broadcast block to each other. That means once consensus is reached and the transaction is approved, each node will also what? Be notified that this transaction has been approved. Now let's move on to the next one. Okay. Something's wrong with my. Okay, hold on. Now, as we have learned what blockchain is, a brief introduction into the first currency on the blockchain. Now, blockchain is a decentralized digital or virtual currency conceived in 2008 and built on the blockchain in 2009, which uses peer-to-peer technology to facilitate instant and fast payments. Now, everybody have been hearing about Bitcoin here and there. So this is Bitcoin. It's just a currency on a particular blockchain, a currency on the first blockchain, which was first conceived in 2008 and which was built, which came to life or came to being in 2009. So I believe some people might have one or two questions right now, and I would like to, excuse me, to take one or two questions. I don't want to speak to myself alone. Please, anyone with question, I hope you guys can hear me. Question from anywhere I've spoken about here. Just point me to it and I'm going to answer. So I can give my partner the time, the stage to continue from where I stopped.
Michael, we can hear you perfectly fine. If you guys have any questions for Michael of anything that he's presented thus far, please drop it in the chat, or you can also raise your hand and we can allow you to talk as well.
Thank you.
Michael, looks like there's no questions.
Question for now. Okay.
You're doing such a great job right now, Michael.
Okay. Anointing.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. You can take over from here.
Yes. Okay, let me just link up this. Trying to share my screen here. I think you have to disconnect so that I can share my screen and move on. All right. That's nice. Okay. Okay. Let's see this. All right. I think network is really.
I think it's taking a while to.
Yeah.
So where should I continue from for you? I think yeah, or the next slide.
Okay. Start from what is Bitcoin. The last slide.
Okay.
Yeah. Go back to the last slide. What is Bitcoin? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Michael. I also want to say thank you, Covalent, for this opportunity, for helping us to share this little knowledge we've gathered from this space. Okay. My name is Anointing, as we have heard already. So I'll be starting now. Okay, like Michael have already explained, said Bitcoin is a decentralized digital virtual currency conceived in 2008 and built on the blockchain in 2009, which uses peer-to-peer technology to facilitate instant, fast payment. Sorry, just a confirmation. I hope you guys can hear me. If we just drop something on the chat box, or so I won't be speaking to myself.
Yes,
Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, I will just add a little something again to what Bitcoin is all about. Bitcoin was created by Satoshi Nakamoto. So let me just give a brief introduction to Bitcoin. And okay, okay. I think he worked with a team. Him and his team, they outlined Bitcoin technology, and from there it has been something amazing. Like that's taken over the world, basically. If you ask me, because some people will want to say that, okay, it's going to take over the world. But if you ask me currently, I think Bitcoin is taking over the world and is heading somewhere really amazing that we'll all be joyful about in the nearest future. Okay. Okay, just in simple concepts, if I'm to explain what Bitcoin is, so Bitcoin is a digital money that allows for secure peer-to-peer transaction on the internet. So basically, Bitcoin is digital money, like our fiat currency, but now digital. You can basically transfer any money anywhere from. Okay, just imagine this for a little. Take a look at if I'm to transfer something from where I am right now, currently in Nigeria, from to transfer any my fiat currency, which is Naira, to anybody, maybe someone in the US, to transfer USD. The process of going to the bank and doing all those, it's hectic, very hectic. But with the introduction of Bitcoin, I think some of those have been we can do transactions basically from anywhere and everywhere in the world, and it's very swift. Okay, just basic introduction to what Bitcoin has done. Okay. Unlike various payment systems like PayPal, like Venom, which basically rely on financial systems like the banks, and like as Michael has said when he was making an introduction to blockchain. Unlike those, Bitcoin basically Bitcoin is decentralized, not centralized. Like they have to go through the banks and have these ledgers that work with the bank and all that. Bitcoin is decentralized, and Bitcoin, sorry about that, really having some sore throat here. Okay, Bitcoin is decentralized, and any two persons anywhere in the world can basically send Bitcoin with each other without the involvement of the bank or the government or any other institution. That's what the word decentralized there means. Okay, every transaction also with Bitcoin is tracked on the blockchain, which Michael introduced in the first part of this workshop. So every transaction is tracked on the blockchain, which is similar kind of to the bank ledger. Okay, so the bank ledger, that is the log for customers that the bank will have to gather in maybe a room or maybe in their system, that they can manipulate anything anytime. Bitcoin is decentralized and this cannot be manipulated. Okay, unlike the bank ledgers, Bitcoin is distributed across the entire network. So no company, no country, there's no third party, nobody controlling anything. Nobody can go nobody can basically change anything. Any transaction you've made is there and it's distributed generally. So nobody's going back there to change any transaction. Unlike the bank ledgers, someone is in control of it. Someone has the files. Someone can basically go there and change something and they will want to tell you some other thing. Okay. One interesting thing about Bitcoin. There's just 21 million Bitcoin in the world. That's the digital money that cannot be inflated, it cannot be manipulated. There's nothing like that in the blockchain space, talking about Bitcoin. Okay, and it is necessary. It isn't necessary to buy the entire Bitcoin, to like buying the whole 21 million Bitcoin, but you can have just a fraction of one Bitcoin if that's all you need, just a fraction of one Bitcoin, and you should be good to go. And believe me, it's not too late currently to get yourself a Bitcoin because it's heading somewhere really great. Okay, just a brief something again about Bitcoin. When you hear BTC, BTC is the abbreviation for Bitcoin. So whenever I hear BTC, I'm trying to be very basic now because this is an introduction class. So I don't know who knows and who doesn't know. So I'm just trying to break everything down to the...
Also anointing. Are we supposed to be on the what is Bitcoin slide, or is there another slide that we should be on?
So just for this slide for now, we're still talking about this one.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Okay, so yes, Bitcoin is the first widely adopted cryptocurrency. So we should know that Bitcoin is the first widely adopted cryptocurrency, which is just another way of saying digital money. Like, okay, Bitcoin is the first digital money, basically. Okay, then Bitcoin. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So I won't take much of our time because like I'm talking too much on this slide, because if I'm to continue with Bitcoin, I have to go a long way. Okay, a brief history on Bitcoin. Okay, before this presentation started, I just checked the price of Bitcoin and it was, I think, $47,471 at that moment. I don't know what it is right now. Anything can happen at any minute in the crypto space. Okay, so a brief history on Bitcoin. In 2008, let's go back to in 2008. Okay, yeah. Right. In 2008, the first description of Bitcoin was published by an individual under the alias Satoshi Nakamoto. Like I said earlier, he and his team was the first one. I can't tell for sure if he was working with a team or he was alone, but if you ask me, I'll say he was working with a team. Okay, they started this great movement and they were the first person, or I say he was the first person that started the Bitcoin, which is digital money. Okay, next slide. Right. Yeah. Okay. In 2009, just giving a brief history on Bitcoin till date. In 2009, Bitcoin network goes live, and the first Bitcoin was mined. Okay. If I'm to talk about mining of Bitcoin now, that is going to be something that maybe in our series to come, we'll talk about that one. So just follow us up. Okay. Then in 2010, the first crypto stock exchange for trading Bitcoin was launched. We're still going to talk about trading and all those maybe later. Basically, not telling you what to trade. No. Nobody's going to do that. We're just going to give you a few ideas on what you can do with Bitcoin, basically. Okay, thank you. Next slide. Okay, in 2011, this is where it started getting interesting. One Bitcoin was approximately $1, one USD. That's one Bitcoin. And from that moment, some persons were like, okay, this is going nowhere. Bitcoin, digital money, what are you talking about? You know, back then in 2011, and this is 2021, this is like 10 years difference. Some person didn't see it like a movement, like that is going to head anywhere. They just saw it like something that just come and disappear just all of a sudden. But then the world is changing. Then it started just like that. Gradually, we moved to 2012, and then to 2013, one Bitcoin was 100 USD. At that moment, like during the 2012, all the ups and downs, at that moment, the world was going haywire. Okay, some persons feel like, okay, is this going to be a future for us? Some persons feel like, I don't think this thing one day is just going to blast on everybody's face and everybody's going to go home. Especially back here in Nigeria, it was something else, basically. Okay, then in 2014, things started getting more interesting. Microsoft starts accepting Bitcoin as payment. People started accepting the new future. People started seeing what was being built, and so people started accepting it, and that was when everything started changing for Bitcoin. In 2017, one Bitcoin was equal to $10,000. Okay, at that moment, I think that time there were too many things to say, because I don't know, it was like, okay, this is going to drop, this is going to rise based on the prices. There were too many speculations, too many people were saying too many stuffs. There were some persons pulling out, there were some persons buying more, there were some persons selling their Bitcoin and saying, I've made some profit, I just have to get out now before it's going to crash on my head. And all those kind of stuff. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, in 2018, one Bitcoin again surprised everybody and moved to $15,000. Then in 2019, PayPal adoption of Bitcoin to their platform. More persons started accepting Bitcoin. In 2021, Bitcoin was equal to $24,000. And then in 2021, which is, okay, 2020 was just last year, I forgot. And it was crazy. Okay, most of us, some persons maybe were not in the space then, some heard the gist, some didn't get the story. Bitcoin dropped drastically, and it was like, okay, this is the end of it. Like, okay, because of the whole pandemic stuff, it was like, okay, this is the end of it. There's no future for this anymore. But then it took us by surprise again, and then Bitcoin moved again. 2021, the largest Bitcoin event took place in Miami. Okay, and currently now Bitcoin, I think the all-time high of Bitcoin is around 60,000 USD, and believe me, I think it's going to go way higher than that by the end of this year. Okay, then okay, that will be all for this slide. Next slide, please. All right. Now going into wallets, blockchain wallets. Blockchain wallet is a decentralized wallet that allows users to store and manage their digital currency on blockchain network. Users can send, receive various digital currencies and convert them to local fiat. Now, blockchain wallet is more like, our bank account, where we store our money. Basically, you just go to the bank and you deposit your money there. That's what the wallet is. So just comparing this blockchain system with the bank system. That's what I'm trying to do now. But then blockchain system is decentralized, while the bank system is centralized. Just have to get that at the back of your mind. So, okay, comparing the both of them, it's just like our bank account where you just store your money, where you keep your money, your fiat currency, save up your money there. But this is more like wallet. This, in the wallet now, the money is controlled by you and not by any other person. Whatever you do with your money is your choice. If you transcend your money to anybody, it's your choice. And nobody's going to change that. You don't have to go through any system. You don't have to do anything. Just everything is basically under your control. Next slide, please. Okay. Right. Category of blockchain wallet. We basically have two categories, which is the hardware and the software. Okay, since we're talking about decentralized technology, I will liken this one into normal computer systems. Our computer systems, our basic classes, they taught us some stuff about the computer system having the hardware system and a software system. So the hardware system, which is also called the code wallet. Next slide. So, okay, next slide. These are a few examples of hardware systems. So then next slide. Okay. Okay, these are examples of hardware systems, which is the desktop, like your desktop computers, your mobile phones, the web extension on your desktop or your laptop. Basically, some hardware wallets you can get in the blockchain. All right, next slide, please. Blockchain. All right, the software wallets. This is the interesting part because personally, I'm not a fan of the whole hardware. So, but the software wallet, as the name implies, these are wallets that you can touch, that you can't touch physically. Applications on your mobile devices, your Android, your iOS, your pads, your laptops, your desktops, and all that. They're free to download. Basically, it's already there. They are in the systems. You can download them in your Android as apps. There's you can download them. You can get extensions to them in your system also, your laptop. This is the interesting part. Basically, you can control your money. You can control your Bitcoin. You can control your money basically from this wallet. Next slide. So tell them about some examples. So, all right. Popular software wallets. That's some examples of the software wallet. You have the blockchain wallets. You have the Coinbase wallets, Exodus, Coinomi, Atomic wallets, IM token, Trust wallets, MetaMask, Token Pocket. These are different type of wallets. It's just based on your preference. If you want to choose any wallets, you make your research. One thing you should know about this space is you have to make your research on anything and everything you want to do. Make your own personal research. Don't take anybody's words for it. Make your research, convince yourself, and choose what you think is going to be best for you. Right. Next slide, please. All right. This is another interesting part. Blockchain careers and opportunities. Okay. Some persons just okay, if you just talk to a layman now, talking from my experience now, I talk about blockchain, you talk about Bitcoin. What comes to the mind first is trading. I don't want to trade. We want to liken it into the foreign exchange market, like the forex market. I'll be like, it's all about trading. Please don't tell me about trading. I've lost so much money in trading. And they think that's the only way you can make money. Or some persons will be like, okay, it's just to buy and hold. That's what everybody say. Just want to buy and hold. I can't keep my money there for so long. I need to use my money for this. Talking from personal experiences. But no, there are different opportunities in blockchain, and there are different careers one can take up in blockchain and make a good living. When I said a good living for yourself. Some of these opportunities are the blockchain developer, the blockchain legal consultant, the blockchain solution architect, blockchain UI designer. Now, all these now, I'm going to explain them in a short while. I'll try my best to be as fast as possible. So, because this part is the part I really love, talking about the opportunities in the space. Some persons you want to, I have an organization where I teach about careers and opportunities in the space. Okay, so let me just go through it. Okay, the blockchain developer, develop it with expertise to help companies, like maybe or projects, explore blockchain platforms. These blockchain developer, basically, they are in high demands. Like if you are into developing, like you have a basic knowledge of it, I'll advise you to learn more about it and then move into the blockchain space, because you're going to make a lot of money if you really know what you're doing and you're really good at what you're doing. You're going to be very great and you'll be known in this space. Okay, these are highly demanded basically in the blockchain space. Okay, blockchain development might be the most remarkable career path today, because people are eager to realize all the benefits of blockchain. Like basically, developing in blockchain, it's the bomb. Like if you are developing in a blockchain space, then you're going to make a whole lot of money for yourself, because there are some persons out there looking for developers every day. Someone with a new idea, someone that can just think of something great and put it into coding, basically. Okay, blockchain legal consultants, that is another career opportunity in the blockchain space. If you're a legal personnel, you can also go into this. We also have the blockchain solution architect. Solution architect has the responsibility of designing, assigning, and connecting blockchain solution with the team experts, such as developers, network administrators, the UI designers, and the IT operations. That's the blockchain solution architect. It's the person that is responsible for all of this. So I have the okay, the UI design, UX UI designer. This is another big career in the blockchain space. In this part, if you are really good at coding or designing of some sorts, I think you should also think of a career in the blockchain space, because you're going to, basically, if you can get most of all these projects, if you can give them something they really want, they're going to pay you very well for it. Like they're going to pay you handsomely very well, just for being a good designer and you can code some real good stuff. Okay, the project manager. Okay, I think time is really running so fast. The project manager. Okay, maybe in our next series, I'll continue from this part. The project manager, the trade analyst, the content creators, the marketers, social media influencers, all these are very good opportunities in the blockchain space. Okay, let me just talk a little about the content creators. These are people that, you know, if you go into the space and you just search for memes, maybe for blockchain, you're going to see a whole lot of memes. These are the content creators. You see some good graphic designs. These are coming from the content creators. You see some really nice articles out there in Medium. These are coming from the content creators. So you can be a content creator for a project and you can give them really good stuff. You can write really good articles for them. You can give them really good graphic design, memes, videos, and you get paid for it. You can, okay, then for the marketers, you can also be, if you are from, you can also be a marketer for them, basically telling people about them, maybe offline or online or in your social media platform. You can do all for the social. Okay, then the next one, the social media influencer. You can, if you have really active followers, like maybe in your Twitter page or okay, the blockchain is not really there in the Facebook page, but mostly in the Twitter page. If you have really active followers, you can be an influencer for your project. You can promote projects and you get really paid for it. Okay, I think next slide. I think that should be all. That should be all. Next slide, let me just confirm. Yes.
Yes, that's all.
That should
Anointing.
be
I would
all.
just like to recap something on these careers for everyone listening. Can I go ahead?
Okay, please go on.
Okay. Yes, like my partner said about the careers and opportunities in blockchain. This is a very interesting aspect in which I myself am benefiting from. Now, as a student or a professional person in your normal day-to-day life, example, as a lawyer, you can get into blockchain as what? A legal consultant. Now, people who code, if you know how to use Python, CSS, and so on, you can become a blockchain developer where you can earn for yourself more than the average payment you are being paid in your normal work, your normal physical work. And the designers also, this is a very interesting aspect in which I'm also going into, where I've seen a lot of people, a lot of projects bringing task for people. The previous one is from Very Nifty, where they bring in tax for someone. They posted a tax on what we call it, GitHub. No, sorry, GitHub, where they asked for a web page to be designed, and the payment was $1,500 for the selected design. So this is something in which I see this is a space where everyone can have an input. So look for the area or aspect you think you can develop yourself into, or you think you're already into, and you can do something good and make a earning or a living for yourself, or for the love of making things like this. You can do this for the love of it and be happy with yourself. The content creators, as I said, you can create different contents on Twitter or YouTube, create videos for people to watch, explainer videos to teach people about so on different projects. So these are opportunities where I see each and every one of us can key into, especially in my country, in Nigeria, where the average payment, excuse me, where the average the government, the so-called government payment is the, what do you call it, the minimum wage is below $50, which is quite terrible in Nigeria here. And I see this blockchain as a way to alleviate poverty. If you are good in any of these listed opportunities here, can make a living for yourself and also work. Go on with your day-to-day activities and come back home at your leisure time and work on blockchain, making extra income for yourself and your family. So I think basically these careers and opportunities are the best currently in anywhere in the whole world. I saw a tweet saying that he is employing Harvard students under him. He doesn't have any certificates to say, but he's employing Harvard students under him to work under him, and he's paying them. You saw it too also. So
yes,
I think if everybody can key into blockchain, can watch this series and key into it and look at the aspect that you can contribute to, I believe that we all can make the realization of adoption of blockchain adoption in Nigeria possible, and globally very possible. So that's my take on the careers and opportunity. Thank you very much. Anointing, you can continue or you can close it up.
okay, thank you very much. No, but basically, actually, I think the career path is a very interesting path for everyone. Like, okay, like for the organization I work with here, they basically teach people on this career stuff and give them opportunities. Majorly when some of all these projects bring up opportunities, they need ambassadors or they need certain skills, they bring it up for them. So these people really get interested. Some persons actually, if they just need to get the knowledge, they just need to know it. They just need to learn. I'm actually pushing some youths in Nigeria actually to want to get some skills for themselves. You know, some persons were very lazy about all this kind of stuff, but nowadays you see some people want to really learn some stuff and get a good living for themselves. Even as a student, see, you find some students they want to be like, I can drop out of school for this, but we don't encourage that. But then it's a really good career opportunity and it's very flexible for anybody and everybody. Okay, I think that will be all for today. And on our next series, we'll be discussing something better, discussing some other stuff in the blockchain, possibly talk about some other career stuff. Basically, if you can find any other, if you can find opportunities to, we're going to lay it out for the house and get some persons involved in the career path for the blockchain. All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Kovalent. I think that'll be all for today.
Awesome.
Right.
Thank you, Michael and Anointing, for the presentation. I've been in the blockchain space for 2 years, and I still learned a lot from this. You guys did add a lot of details that I didn't even know about. Right now, we'll open the floor to questions, but as Anointing Michael said, well, we'll also be hosting another workshop like next week. We'll finalize the details, but they'll continue this as a series. But first, I just want to open the floor to any questions that anyone might have. Please type them in the chat, or if you raise your hand, we'll let you speak as well. Also, you guys are also free, to talk about any of the points as well. I see that some of the alchemists have talked about being alchemists, other opportunities that they've also gotten while in the blockchain space. You also use this time to share any opportunities or any thoughts as well. Wow, you guys must have done a really good job because there's no questions, but I actually did have a question for you both.
Yeah.
You guys definitely talked about how you feel the blockchain space will grow, because you think like you're predicting that Bitcoin will grow and there's so many opportunities. Like, how do you think the blockchain space will grow in the next couple of years?
Okay, I think that one is for me. Okay, the blockchain space in the next couple of years, I think is going to be really amazing, bringing out many more opportunities, because the way I see it, the better it go, the more projects comes up and the more opportunities comes up. That's for the opportunity part. And looking at it already, if you actually following the news, or anybody that's following the news, you see that so many countries are now adopting the cryptocurrency. So many countries, like in Nigeria, I saw a news. I think very soon we'll be having our own.
I can't hear Anointing anymore. Can you guys hear him?
Around the world, some countries that don't want to accept will be forced to accept, because they might not have any other choice, because every other country now will be dealing on cryptocurrency and they will be the only one left out, and they just have to accept it for them. So I think it's going to be amazing. Like, it's not too late currently now to hop in the ride and be a part of this great movement. Thank you very much.
The space is quite large, and in the years to come, it's going to be very, very interesting. Like in my country, Nigeria, the government is still, it's not into law, it's not in the law yet, but some security personnel are harassing some of my mates into cryptocurrency. They're asking them about how they are getting funds from doing crypto, or making earning living for themselves outside the normal unnecessary wage payment we receive here in Nigeria. And in the years to come, I believe our country here in Nigeria is going to be better for it. I think as more people are getting involved in this space, a law to stop the government from stopping us as a centralized power, we are going to start a revolution to become more decentralized, and more adoption of blockchain is going to take over from our country and hopefully the whole world in general. So that's how I see the development of blockchain in few years to come.
Yeah, thank you so much for the answer. I really appreciate it. Also, anyone else have any other questions for Michael and Anointing? Also, I'm pretty sure they're also open to ideas on what you want them to teach in the future as well. So if there's a specific topic to blockchain that you want them to teach, I'm sure that they're more open to hosting a workshop on it.
Okay, yeah, I think that's also good. Maybe anyone can just make a suggestion on what you want to know. Maybe for our next series, we'll put that into and talk about that.
Awesome, cool. I can also drop their, if Michael and Anointing, if you want to drop your Discord handles in the chat. Also, you can find them on the Covalent Alchemist, like the Covalent Alchemist Discord as well. Cool. Thank you everyone for attending. This recording will be available in the next couple of days. If you need anything else, reach out to Anointing and Michael on Discord. And then Anointing, I'll just, awesome, cool. Thank you everyone. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.